Good morning. It's an honor to be here again for the second time from the United States and representing the Phoenix Society for Burn Survivors. I know a lot of faces already in the audience because I met you either at World Burn Congress or I met you the last 2 days that Amy Acton, the executive director, and I have been here. So, may I have the first slide? Okay. Image enhancement and the image enhancement program, a tool to achieve social confidence, social control, and social comfort. What are we seeking? Okay, I never know which side to look. Okay, what we're seeking, I think all of us with a facial difference, is to act and feel social confidence, comfort, and control in every social, work, or school situation. Before my burn injury, next slide, yes, thank you. I was a middle school teacher and living a very energetic life with socially and doing sports and lots of good things in my life. Then I was in a rear-end car collision and my life changed dramatically. And like James, I never expected a burn injury. I didn't even know what a burn injury really was. I'd never heard of a burn center. And there I found myself for 2.5 months in a burn center in California where I lived. And during that time, I had quite a few surgeries. I had the fingers on my right hand amputated, and my other hand wasn't quite as useful as it had been. And my face had changed dramatically, and I didn't see myself before I was discharged. And that was really devastating when I first went home and encountered the big bathroom mirror and saw my face for the very first time. And like James, it was pure agony, disbelief that I could look like this, and I was in great despair and thought my life was certainly over. And at that time, in the United States, there were no programs to help support survivors. There were no small groups where burn survivors gathered. And so I felt very alone after discharge. And one of the things that I think should be in every burn center in the world is a protocol and preparation for seeing yourself for the first time, which would include having a family member, perhaps a health care professional that the patient's pretty close to, and certainly a mental health professional. Chairman Yoon has a copy of a suggested protocol that you can receive from her during the conference if you just ask her for a copy. So I may look a little different, I realized, on the outside. In fact, a lot different, but I was still me. The picture on the left side is during the reconstructive process, and although I had an excellent reconstructive surgeon who really worked with me and was really a partner on my reconstructive journey and allowed me to make some of the decisions about what was next, I really secretly prayed that he would make me look like I did before. And I never told anybody. So when I first saw myself after the big first reconstructive surgery, I was disappointed because it was not what I was expecting. And I realized at that point my journey was really just beginning, and that what I hoped for was probably not going to happen. So during that time, I, like James, encountered lots of stares, lots of questions, sometimes avoidance, people pointing, double takes, startled glances, and it was very uncomfortable because I didn't know how to navigate the world again like I did before. For most of us, we were able to walk around through malls or restaurants in our daily life without much attention. And we could be rather anonymous. And all of a sudden, after a burn injury, there's all this unwanted attention when we're least prepared to handle it. So during that time, I wore the pressure garments quite diligently. I was single at the time, and I had to work. I had to go back to teaching. And I was very fortunate because I've met other people who have lost their jobs because of a facial difference, teachers included. But my school district was very strong and very loving about me coming back to be a teacher in that school. But still, I was really scared about going back to school because I feared that maybe some of the kids would want to have me out of their, not be in my class. Maybe their parents would want them out of my class because of my burn injury. And so I know I needed to do something, but I didn't know what to do. And the hospital didn't have any advice. My colleagues with whom I taught didn't know what to do either. And I think all of us were scared for me. And so what I did, just on a whim, is that first week I told the kids all about the car crash, being in the burn center and what a burn center even was. And then I gave them an opportunity to ask me all the questions that they wanted to. And I realized a few months later the power of self-disclosure, and the truth shall set you free, because none of the things that I thought might happen ever occurred. So I felt very fortunate. Now, in the United States, the Phoenix Society offers a school reentry program, which is an online program that can be performed by a teacher, a burn care professional, or even the parents or a firefighter. So it's a lot better for kids now. After all my reconstructive surgery was completed, Thank you. I realized that after all this reconstructive surgery, it still didn't feel good for me. And I wanted 3 things. I wanted my skin all one color. I wanted some eyebrows again. And I'd seen attempts by surgeons to do the eyebrows, but they weren't a good result for me, I didn't think. And then I wanted a symmetrical lip line, which is really hard, very difficult to achieve. So I was able to find, after many calls and much searching, someone who would help me with a product that would make my skin all one color, show me how to create eyebrows, and how to make a symmetrical lip line. And the photo on the right is my school picture that following year after I had learned some of these techniques. These were my early attempts. Excuse me, I'm a little thirsty. So after discharge, most of us feel certainly emotionally, physically, and spiritually more fragile. And it really is the beginning of our emotional and psychological healing. And the reality begins to set in that the impact of a burn injury and establishing what we call a new normal. Excuse me. There are a lot of community reentry challenges after our discharge that most of us not prepared for. People staring, the intrusive questions and remarks, returning to school for kids, returning to work, going out socially with our families or friends, to restaurants, malls, new social situations where we're maybe the only person with a burn injury. And of course, dating, relationships, and projecting a positive self-image. Some of the body image transitions are very important, and one of them being mourning your previous image and body part losses. We all have had to do that. And processing the grief is highly important and really has to be done before we really move on and accept ourselves and get that new normal for ourselves. And everybody grieves at a different pace, but grief must be done. So hopefully that we accept a new image and love ourselves the way we are and the way we're not. And what I realized is that during that time is that every new surgery presented a brand new image that you had to get used to. And sometimes it was very difficult. So the creative cosmetics techniques is a tool among many of the tools that we have to aid a successful community reentry. And that's what we all want, to feel comfortable and confident in our own skin. And the beauty of a creative cosmetics image enhancement program is that it restores an even skin tone, restores eyebrows, a symmetrical lip line, and gives more facial harmony and balance to us. On Saturday and Monday, Amy Acton and I, conducted a 2-day training for 6 burn survivors who will now head up the image enhancement program for the Hallam Burn Center. Give these ladies a... This was a big step because this is the first image enhancement program in all of Asia, and certainly the only comprehensive image enhancement program in Korea. And it will serve it can serve not just burn survivors, but trauma and cancer, birth anomaly, and anyone with a facial difference. And it's a valuable tool for community reintegration. And it increases that ability to feel and act comfortable and confident. So, next slide, please. Thank you. So, these are a few before and after images. And what I'd like you to notice is the even skin tones, the brows. And in the after photo, look at the person's eyes. All of a sudden, they have life again, more energy, and each of them has a smile on her face. Plus, I think they feel more comfortable and confident. And it certainly, as they go out in the world, will have far less stares, far less questions, far less glances. And the same with these two before and after photos. If you notice just the life that comes back to someone's expression and the energy in their faces. Next, please. Thank you. The top young woman is a cancer survivor. And so it restored more harmony and symmetry for her face. In the woman below, she has been able to do all three things: create eyebrows, create a symmetrical lip line, and achieve even skin tones. Having your skin one color is not a frivolous concept. And lest you think this is just for women, these two men are examples of what can be done for men as well. And we had two gentlemen in our training who served as models for us to experience what it's like to work with them and to make uniform skin tone for them. One of them will be a speaker later today. And then in these photographs, the women at the top, all three things are achieved: even skin tones, eyebrows, and lip line. The woman at the bottom has a birthmark, port wine stain. You can imagine the double takes, the stares, the startled glances, the questions, the avoidance, the uncomfortableness that she has felt for many years. And she came to World Burn Congress from Taipei, and we were able to achieve this harmonious appearance for her to take back and live a little bit more comfortable life. And at Phoenix World Burn Congress, we conduct an image enhancement center and do individual makeups for burn survivors, and many of the people from the Hallam Foundation were there at World Burn Congress earlier this month at the beginning of October, and some of them were able to experience the image enhancement program. So go ahead, yeah, that's great. Along with the image enhancement, the social skills training assists survivors to achieve social control, social comfort, and social confidence. And the Hallium Burn Foundation has offered this for patients from the Burn Center for several years now, and they had been to World Burn Congress and learned these skills and brought them back to Seoul, and they're used pretty extensively. So James kind of has something similar, but mine is just a little, the Phoenix Society's is a little bit more simple, if you will, in that steps is your self-talk, what you say to yourself and believe, so you want to keep it positive. Your tone of voice being warm and energetic and friendly, as opposed to, poor me, I'm just never going to get anything in life, and life is awful. And having eye contact, connecting with people, standing up straight, looking people in the eye, chin up, shoulders up, and of course, a smile. That always connects people, no matter if you can't speak the same language. The next tool, rehearse your responses. It's a tool to use when people say what happened and why is your skin like that. And we recommend for strangers that you're never probably going to see again. You meet them in the grocery store, or you meet them, on the street, and they ask about your burn. 3 sentences is all you need to give them. How or when you were burned, how you're doing now, and a concluding sentence, something like, thanks for asking, or thanks for your concern. And if you want more information on that, you can get that through the Hallium Burn Foundation, and they'll teach those to you. And the staring tool turns stares into smiles, and that's what we want. So sometimes people, you can be in a line or queue, or however you like to say it, and people really just do stare at each other sometimes. And the way to handle that very quickly and successfully is by using your steps, standing up straight, looking them in the eye, giving a big bright smile, and speaking to them. Hi, how are you doing? How is your day going? Or it's a very beautiful day today, isn't it? And when they hear your voice and you have eye contact with them, it changes the energy, and they see you as a person, not as an object. And it's really kind of bit magical how that can happen. And as James mentioned, adding to that, the art of changing the subject, the art of conversation, which you can learn more about. I'd like to introduce you to the concept that the Phoenix Society does have a resource library, and you can access that at any time through the Phoenix Society website. And it has resources for not just physical healing, but emotional and mental healing, and the social aspects of healing as well. And this is our website, our 1-800 number, though you probably won't be calling that. But each month, we have, not each month, every 4 months, we have published Burn Support Magazine. We also have the Phoenix SOAR program, Survivors Offering Assistance in Recovery, which is a standardized national peer support program. And we have over 70 burn centers that are participating in that program, so that people have the opportunity to meet another burn survivor, a parent talking with another parent, a husband or wife talking with another spouse. And of course, many of you have been to Phoenix World Burn Congress. If you've been, raise your hand. I just love to see how many have been to Phoenix World Burn Congress. How many have been to Phoenix World Burn Congress? Yeah, quite a few. Yes. And every Wednesday we have a online peer support chat, and another program that we have is a Phoenix Education Grant, which is a scholarship program that enables us to help kids get a start at their college education. So we have many programs, many stories online of the Phoenix Society, and if you go online you can navigate our website, which has a lot of information for you. So at this time I'd like to introduce you to the 6 survivors who have done the image enhancement training in order to begin the first image enhancement program here in Seoul, Korea. And Amy, so would you all come forward that were in the 2-day training? Lena, Insuk, Seng-A, Suna, no, what? Oh, sorry.
네, 지금 방금 말씀해 주신 대로 이미지 강화 워크샵을 수료하신 분들에 대한 수료증 전달을 좀 하도록 하겠습니다. 김은채님, 최련아님, 엄운자님, 한순옥님, 정승혜님, 정인숙님 모두 무대 위로 좀 올라와 주시기 바라겠습니다. 네, 시상은요 바브라 퀘일님과 에이미 액터님께서 함께 도와주시겠습니다. 네, 순서 불러드릴게요. 김은채님, 최련아님, 엄문자님, 한순옥님, 정승혜님, 정인숙님 요 순서대로 서주시면 감사하겠습니다. 네, 순서대로 시상을 좀 하도록 하겠습니다. 김은채, 귀하는 피닉스 이미지 강화 트레이닝을 받았기에 이 수료증을 드립니다. 대한민국 한림화상재단 2019년 10월 29일 바바라 퀘일. 네, 축하드립니다. 자, 최련아, 이하 내용은 같습니다. 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 엄문자님, 이하 내용은 같습니다. 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 한순옥님, 네, 이하 내용은 같습니다. 고생하셨습니다. 네. 정승혜님, 이하 내용은 같습니다. 정인숙님, 네, 이하 내용은 같습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 자, 오늘 수상하신 모든 분들에게 다시 한번 뜨거운 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 사진 촬영 이어지도록 하겠습니다. 네, 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 네, 오늘 수료증 받으신 모든 분들과 또 멋진 강연 보여주신 바브라 퀘일님께 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.